Now this. The Labour Department wants to ban anyone under the age of 18 working on farms, even family farms. It also wants to stop farm training programs offered by groups like 4-H. Why? Activist groups backed by unions say the job is too dangerous, and those human rights groups even want the UN to get involved. Varney and Co viewers are firing back on Facebook about this story that we brought to you. Susie writes this: "Great. Now our kids will lose one more place to learn to be responsible people, working producers, pride in accomplishment." Well said, Susie, it does. Mary writes this: "We have a government out of control. They're killing our farms, our industry, our energy production. Why are there no jobs? They won't let you create one." Another good one from Mary. Republican Congresswoman Cynthia Lummis is with us now from Wyoming. She joins us from D.C. Cynthia, these are a proposed rule change from the Labour Department. It's not a new law. What can you in the legislature do to turn this thing around?
Stuart, good morning. I serve on the Appropriations Committee and its subcommittee on Labor, Health, Human Services, and Education. So we quizzed Secretary Solis about these rules, and Congressman Denny Rehberg of Montana and I intend to put a rider on the appropriations bill that says no money shall be expended implementing these rules.
Okay, so you can cut them off with the money and thereby reverse the rules. We got that. Now, who in Congress is going to turn around and say, who's going to support a rule that says, I am a tree farmer, by the way, I cannot have my teenage sons drive my tractor? Who in Congress is going to stand up and say, oh, you're a bad guy, Stuart Varney, for doing that?
Well, I hope that no one will, because these rules cut into lifestyles and training opportunities for young people to take over family businesses. And to be fair, Stuart, the rules have been revised so they apply to 14 and 15-year-olds who are working on their neighbors' farms and ranches for pay. They no longer apply to your children and my children. But, Stuart, it still takes away and deprives from young people on ranches and farms the opportunity to grow, to establish a work ethic, to learn how to do these jobs safely. And that's the only way to learn, is on-the-job training if you're on a farm or ranch.
So why do they want to do this? I just don't get it. I don't know why on earth the Labour Department would want to put in place a rule like this. Do you have an explanation?
I do. We asked Secretary Solis the very same question, and she said that pediatric physicians had identified injuries to young people on farms and ranches as a major problem. However, these rules won't change that. It doesn't address the problem of injuries to youth on farms and ranches. By depriving young people the ability to work on their neighbors' farms and ranches, where they get even more experience, more self-esteem, it will make matters actually worse.
Is it, are we correct in saying that it is the unions, in part, pushing for this rule change, and that some activists want to take America before the United Nations Human Rights Commission on the grounds that we've got child labor on American farms? Am I right in those two areas?
That I don't know, Stuart, but we intend to look into this more deeply, and we intend, when we finally do get around to marking up the labor bill, to have the ammunition we need to take our case to the full Congress.
Okay. Cynthia Lummis, it is always a pleasure to have you with us on the show, and we thank you for appearing again on what this is an issue that really fired up myself and especially our viewers. Thanks very much, Ms. Lummis. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
My pleasure, Stuart.